Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Language Arts Gallery. Today, we're going to continue talking about writing a tall tale. And today, we're going to talk about how you can develop a great problem as you're putting your tall tale together. So remember, in our last video, we talked about the features of this genre. We said it's an exaggerated story. It could not really happen in real life. The main character is a larger than life hero. And this character is going to solve everyday problems. Just because they're solving everyday problems doesn't mean the problems aren't serious. They're just problems that normal people face every day. And because it's an exaggerated story, we want to make sure that our tall tale contains hyperbole. So, in our last lesson, we looked at a mentor text, we went over some ideas for a problem, and we talked about what makes our hero special. Today, we're really going to dive deep into what a good problem in a tall tale looks like. We want to do this before we develop our hero. We're going to work on developing our hero in our next lesson, but we always want to work on our problem first because our problem is going to shape our hero, not the other way around. Remember, whomever we develop as a hero, their abilities has to match the problem. It has to be able to solve the problem. If we've got a problem that requires someone to be very, very strong and we create a hero that's very fast, that's not going to solve the problem. So today we're going to talk about four things that make up a great problem. The first is a great problem is going to define our hero. Just like I said, we have to match their ability to the problem. We want to make sure that the problem we develop affects many people or it affects an entire community. Remember, our main character is a hero. They're helping other people. If the problem only affects the hero, then that doesn't make them much of a hero, does it? We've got to make sure that they're helping other people. Because our hero is solving problems in humorous ways, the problem that we create is going to help to drive the humor in the story. So we have to begin with that thought in mind. And ultimately, we said that we want to make sure that throughout the story, we're creating suspense and raising the stakes for our reader. So we want to keep that in mind as we're developing our problem. So let's take a look at an example here. So here I've got a horrible drought. Now, this is a serious problem, but it is a problem that people face every day. I want to give an exaggerated description of this problem. So I can describe it as a drought so bad that the Mississippi River turned to dust and cracked like old pottery. Crops were dying, animals were heading for the hills. 3 states away, the ocean was worried. So, how can I use this to create suspense? Well, I can say, if it didn't rain in the next 7 days, the whole heartland of America would become desert forever. So, I've created this suspense, I've raised the stakes. Now, this is a very serious problem. Why would this work? Well, the problem is enormous. It's affecting these 3 states. A normal person could not solve this. You need a larger than life hero in order to do it. In order to solve the problem, the hero needs to be able to somehow impact the weather. So we want to make sure this problem is big. Now I've got 3 examples here. A normal problem could be there's a small hole in the roof. A pretty big problem could be the whole roof collapsed. A tall tale problem would be a storm came through, ripping every roof off every building in 5 counties and flinging them to the moon. So we want to make sure that the problem we develop is like the third one here. It's got to be tall tale big. It's got to be completely ridiculous. Remember, this couldn't really happen in real life, so you can be as creative as you want to be. Now, I've got a mentor text here. I want you to pause the video and read through this text. As you're reading, think about what makes this problem good for a tall tale. Our hero is Belle Thunderfoot. How is she well suited to solve this problem? And does she solve it on her first attempt? How does she eventually solve it? And what natural events does the author explain with the story of Belle Thunderfoot? So go ahead and read through that, and then we'll come back. All right, now that we're back here, we can see how this author has structured this text. And I think this is a good model. I want my students to follow this while they're creating their own tall tales. The first paragraph, they're going to introduce the hero. We want to ensure that we've got some type of incredible or even impossible origin with an exaggerated description of the hero. And we want to make sure that we draw our reader in immediately with that first sentence. In paragraph 2, and this is what we're really going to be working on today, we want to give a great description of the problem. In paragraph 3, we want to show how the hero attempts to solve the problem. This is their first attempt. A great way to create suspense for the reader and to raise the stakes is to show the hero attempting to solve the problem, but failing on their first try. In paragraph 4, they are eventually going to solve the problem, and it's going to be in a humorous or an outrageous way. And then finally, in our last paragraph, we're going to talk about the consequences of the hero's actions and potentially what does it explain. We're going to talk more about that when we get to the end of this series of lessons, because I think that's a little bit more difficult for our students to explain and to create. Now, I want to talk a little bit more about hyperbole. I'm going to touch on this in every lesson where we talk about tall tales because it's so incredibly important. Remember, we said hyperbole is an extreme exaggeration. We want to make a point. We want to get our audience to laugh. Of course, it's not to be taken literally. So here I've got some examples from some famous tall tales. Paul Bunyan using pine trees as toothpicks, and Pico Spill riding a tornado. So remember, if you're going to be a tall tale writer, you want to use hyperbole to describe the problem in the story. So here is paragraph 2. Now, we didn't read through the entirety of this text, but this gives a great description of the problem. Now, in the summer of Belle's 17th year, the most horrible drought anyone ever did see came creeping across the heartland. The Mississippi River dried up so completely it turned to dust and cracked like old pottery a person could stomp through. Cornstalks shriveled into toothpicks, cattle packed their bags and headed for the hills, and 3 states over, the ocean was sending worried letters asking if everything was all right. The sun hung up there in the sky like a mean old penny, refusing to budge. Folks began to whisper the terrible truth. If it didn't rain in 7 days, the whole heartland of America would turn to desert forever, and the only thing left growing would be regret. So we can see some great examples of hyperbole in this paragraph. The Mississippi River turned to dust and cracked like old pottery, cornstalks shriveling into toothpicks, cattle packing their bags and heading for the hills, and the ocean worrying and sending letters. So, of course, a drought can be a serious problem, but the author's use of hyperbole here makes it seem like a much, much more serious problem. So what you can get your students to do is try to come up with just 1 or 2 sentences where they use hyperbole to describe their problem. I would love it if I could get my students to really maybe develop 2 or 3 sentences where they could really give a great description using hyperbole of the problem that their character's facing in the tall tale. But I think if my students come up with at least 1 sentence, that satisfies what I want them to be able to do, because this is our students' really first attempt at writing a tall tale. So when they go back to their seats, what I want my students to do is think about what the problem is, who is being affected by the problem, what happens if it's not solved, and why a normal person couldn't do it. try and come up with one sentence where you can think of an example of hyperbole to describe the problem. Now, here I've got that text structure mapped out here, those 5 paragraphs. You don't need to have your students go into detail, but I do want them to begin to think about this because this text structure is going to drive the entirety of their writing. So you can find this graphic organizer. You can find this whole lesson in my Teachers Pay Teachers store, linked in the video description. I've also included a drafting template here for my students to work on their first draft of their tall tale. And then after they finish their individual work time, they can come back to the carpet, share their problems, how they structured their story, and if you have a student who did write their first draft, they can share that too. All right. Thank you so much for joining us, and I'll see you in our next video at the Language Arts Gallery.